And welcome in, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Welcome in, worldwide Wrexham fans. You know who I'm talking to. Remember, we've got a bond. I know you. You linked up to this. I know who you are. And welcome in if it's your first time. And if it's your first time, hey, pay for your ticket. Like and subscribe. Join us and join this senior football family. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm stopping the clock right now. Do you know the average age of the family? Me and you, just asking you a straight question. Do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's 35 years of age all the way up to 75. We've got a senior crowd. Yes. There's got to be a lot of great brains in this crowd of ours. And we're reaching 2,000 pretty soon. Pass it around, guys. My goal is to get to 2,000 ASAP. But listen, we are a senior crowd, 35 to 75. So we're not a bunch of kids. There are a few youngsters in here too, and they're welcome as well. Please, please, please tell the rest of you young people to get in here. But I guess because I'm not a kid, I'm not attracting kids, obviously. And I guess I'm attracting the senior crowd, which is what I actually love. So now you know you're in with a senior crowd. So you're in the right place because I do the analytics and I've seen what our strength is. And like I say, 35 all the way to 75. So there you go. It's a senior crowd. Now, this is the pre-game. Peterborough United in 7th, taking on Wrexham in 4th. Someone's not going to be that high after this game, that's for sure, because I tell you, man, battles in and around these two is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see where the teams end up. That's what I'm saying. It's really going to be an interesting thing. We're going to have a lot of things on this show, and I'm going to go through this. We've got a feast, an absolute feast of highlights, stats, news and opinion, game prediction, game talk, 4 more questions, and a whole lot more too. You'd be wise to stick around all the way through. But again, we're a senior crowd, so how does that make you feel? I think it makes me feel pretty comfortable to know that my peers are of a similar age. And also, I'm talking to senior people. So you know the game. And you know that I don't BS. I talk straight. I'm glad I know who you are. I'm glad you know who I am. Anyway, let's get off to some highlights right now. We're talking about the last set of highlights that I could show you recently. And that's Wrexham taking on Reading. Take a look at this. And hey, Peterborough fans, take a look at this. There's more coming for both sets of fans. We've got lots of good stuff, and it complements both teams. So stick around, pay for your ticket, like and subscribe. Wrexham, last game. Have a look. Absolutely amazing game, wasn't it, eh? I mean, man, oh man, oh man. I tell you what, prediction-wise, I'm doing pretty good. I'm 3 for 3 so far this season. Pray that continues, and pray that Wrexham go on that unbeaten run that I talked about. Let's hope it continues. Yes, let's hope it continues. Now, let's take a look at Peterborough's last game, and that was on the road at Exeter City. Have a butchers, posh fans. Yeah, I said posh fans. Have a look. Decent performance there by Peterborough. Good team. Let's face it, over the last few years, Peterborough has been in and about it. Yeah, relegated twice over the last 10 years, promoted once, but always a team figuring in the top 10. Mostly, I'd say probably about 4 or 5 years they've been in the, probably 4 years in the last 10, they've been in the League One playoff positions. But they're a top team, potentially another playoff season this season. But hey, Darren's got them really drilled. So let's take a look now at stats and stories, and this is inclusive of Wrexham and Peterborough United. I'll see you in about a minute 10. So, moving into the stats and the stories this week, and remember, press pause and have more time with every image, therefore you get more time to enjoy. That's what I'd like you to do. Enjoy the images, enjoy the flow. London Road, Game 4, League 1. Quick question to you. Head-to-head. Now, you know I play this each week with you, a little teaser. Head-to-head. Peterborough United, Wrexham AFC. Who's got it? Who's won the most? Who's drawn the most? Who's done what? Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Yes, the Posh are leading the way, 26, 18, 18. It goes back quite some time. Take a look at that, have a look at that, read through that, enjoy that. Remember, press pause and enjoy longer. Now, looking at the table so far, as we say, after 3 games, next up for the Wrexham is Shrewsbury at the Racecourse Ground, so get into that one. And also, this game coming through is between these two, Wrexham and Peterborough. Peterborough in 7th, Wrexham in 4th. Someone's not going to be that high after this game. Looking at the hot shots now, we got more goal scorers. Looking at your assist kings, that's added 1, 2. Picking up a few yellow cards as well, but no red cards so far. And star of last week's game was Andy Cannon for my money, and I asked, is he going to be the impact player? Wasn't he ever, hey? Gotta love Andy Cannon. Please like and subscribe, guys. I really would appreciate it. So stats and stories tell some stories, don't they? Hey, yes, they do. Now, we got 3 profiles I want you to look at. Now, remember last show I told you about Mr. Andy Cannon, impact player. We're going back there. Take a look at this. A little sort of cameo for Andy, but it'll point out what I was trying to say last time out, what he did last game out, and what he's going to continue to do. Not every game, but what he will continue to do in his style of play. And I tell you, Phil Parkinson knows all about Andy Cannon, but take out this little cameo. I'll be back with more of Andy Cannon after that. So, Mr. First Touch. If he doesn't get that touch off, the cross doesn't come in. So he's an impact player, and Ollie gets on the end of it. Again, Andy Cannon, high fives, impact player. This first touch, he doesn't take a touch. It's the first touch, a one-timer, sets up the move. Without Andy's one-timer, Ryan doesn't get down the wing. Beautiful cross in. James hits the post. There's a bit of a scramble, but eventually Elliott slams it in. Again, thanks to Andy Cannon. Andy Cannon in the open again. You've seen him score from here before. Boom. I told you he would. He did. Take a bow, Andy Cannon. Look at the fans going nuts. Glorious. Glorious. I absolutely love the way Andy Cannon reads the game. I love the way he bosses it. I love his physical nature. I love his skill set too. And he's also got a rocket shot. Take a look right now. And remember the last show, I warned you that Andy Cannon was going to do something like this that he did in the Grimsby game. Yeah? Grimsby, when he lashed that shot in. Take a look at both these shots, because I think they're pretty identical. Have a look. Andy Cannon's goal against Reading on the weekend. We talked about Andy being an impact player. Well, he did the same thing against Grimsby, as we pointed out in the last show, yeah? The only difference is he runs to the left, not to the right. 2 goals. 2 games, 2 different teams, but the finish was identical, wouldn't you say? Apart from running to the left, obviously. But now I want to point something out to you. For all this to gel and for Wrexham to play like they are right now, and as they have for the last couple of seasons, you have to have like a couple of things. Morale is one of them. Chemistry is another one, yeah? Camaraderie is key. Take a look at this between Stevie Fletcher and Ollie Palmer after Ollie gets the goal in the game, because that's absolute bloody camaraderie, and it really shows and cements to everybody out there looking on how big, how high the morale is with Wrexham right now. Take a look at this, because it really tells a story. Andy Cannon to Ryan Barnett. Barnett crosses in. Ollie Palmer slams in the header. Turns to the crowd. 4th wall go wild. But point to note, Ollie's running to his mate, Steve Fletcher. When you see 2 big strikers like that, that's amazing morale. So, first of 4 questions, as we do each week. How many clean sheets will Arthur Okonkwo achieve this season? What do you think? I think you'll love this outfit. Paulie's looking really good. Question is, how many goals will Paul Mullin score this season? Question 3, are you surprised to the good start to League One this season? Are you surprised at the good start so far this season? Pretty straightforward, this one. Which 3rd shirt do you prefer, this season or last season? Which 3rd shirt is your choice? So there's my prediction image. I'm looking at a 1-1. I'm saying this is going to be a really tough game between the two. I mean, Peterborough, proven top team over the last 10 plus years. Darren Ferguson, the coach, knows exactly what he's doing. And yes, you know Darren Ferguson from years gone by. I'll remind you in a little while. But you could say on paper it's got a potential draw written all over this one. Similar to the Bolton game. Similar. Not exactly the same. But on paper, you'd be thinking, well, this should be a home win. But it's not that straightforward, is it? Both are very good teams. In League One, Peterborough's proven. Wrexham is now proving themselves in League One. But Wrexham can get the 3 points here. But it needs another performance like last week, don't you think? And it needs to be perfect. You know, like, let's face it, last week was a game where Reading had 68% of the ball and did nothing with it. Just saying, just saying. But remember, everybody wants to beat Wrexham. There's no doubt about that. Everybody wants to beat Wrexham. You're a massive target wherever you go. That's what you're hearing every time. Some good points, though. Arthur Okonkwo and the team have not been beaten in 181 minutes. That's pretty heavy. The last time they got scored on was against Wycombe 3-2. If you want the numbers, it's 181 minutes since Arthur was beaten. 2 clean sheets back to back. Can it continue? That's a tough call, you know. It's a tough call. A clean sheet on the road at Peterborough. You'd like to think Peterborough's going to score. You really do. Wrexham's only given up 2 so far in 3. And although Peterborough's got a young front line, I'm sure Darren Ferguson is relying on those guys to get it done again, as they did last week. So it poses an interesting battle. Because, like I say, it's going to be an interesting football match. This is going to be all about displaying the ball, keeping the ball, the possession. I think Wrexham are going to have a lot of the ball, maybe more than last week. If we're looking at ball play, this is going to be a pretty game. Get ready for a very pretty game of football. Both coaches have been around for a long time. Both guys know their game. Both have got their teams set up beautifully. And both teams have changed up a lot of people this year. We'll get into that very shortly. But let's look at the last losses for both teams on the board. Last Wrexham victory versus Peterborough was 11th of December, 2003. It was a home win, 2-0 over Peterborough. That's 21 years ago. 21 years ago for the last Wrexham victory over Peterborough. Like I say, Peterborough has been a very decent club, especially League One, over the last 10 years plus. Last Peterborough victory over Wrexham was the 26th of Feb, 2008. And that was at the Racecourse Ground, a 2-0 win for Peterborough United. And that's 14 years ago. 14 years ago. Talking points about Peterborough United. Promoted 3 years ago to the Championship. That was 2021. Then relegated straight away from the Championship, 2021 to 2022. Last 2 seasons have been in League One. 2022, 2023, they finished 6th. 2023, 2024, they finished 4th. These guys are not messing around. And although they made a lot of changes, the Posh are a top 10 team, in my opinion, and they're definitely going to challenge for a playoff spot. If not, an automatic spot. But I'm thinking it's in the playoffs where the Posh are probably going to be. Last time around, season 2023, 2024, the Posh finished 4th and only just missed out on promotion, yeah? Total squad changes, though. I told you they changed a lot of people. 12 trades. 12 trades coming in. That can, you know, unbalance a few things. 4 outs, and get this, 17 released contracts. That's getting rid of a lot of dead wood. And that's from a team that didn't finish badly. Finished 4th, but 17 outs, 4 outs, 17 released, and 12 trades in. Got to ask, will it be better than last season? It's a massive challenge, but will it upset the chemistry? Like I say, 4th last season, that's not easy to repeat. I guess Darren knows his club and he knows the league, and he should mould another challenging team. But will he? That's the thing. And if you don't know Darren Ferguson, I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit, Wrexham fans. Obviously, I'd hope you Peterborough fans would know this, but Ferguson's 52. Scotland is his home country, from Glasgow originally. And with Wrexham, from 1999 to 2007, 8 years, he played 356 games, 51 goals. That's impressive, yeah? Yeah. He's 20th all-time with Wrexham in games played. So once again, 356 games, 51 goals. He's 20th all-time. His total career was 468 games and 56 goals. And from a guy that really started at a high at Manchester United, because if you didn't know, Darren Ferguson's daddy is Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, Sir Alex is Darren's dad. And let's face it, Darren was a midfield general for Wrexham for a long, long time. Moving along, though, with Wrexham, got to say, no new injuries. That's a good thing. No new injuries. But injuries are Ollie Rathbone is expected to be fit for this one. Georgie Evans still has a groin problem. Paulie Mullins, after 15 minutes last weekend, the little cameo, it's looking like this week might be the week where he starts. He's had another week's training. Obviously, there's going to be fitness tests, and they're going to see how far he's come. But I think that if you played 15 minutes and you added to something in the game last weekend, a week's training should be getting you closer to starting. And I'm thinking that eventually he should be looking to start, no? That's my take. If not start the game, at least the second half, and slowly building him up to 90 minutes. From 15 minutes to 45, then from 45 up to maybe 60 minutes, and then the full 90. So he could come in fast, or he could come in over a period of games. If I was the coach and I could do it, I'd sooner bring him in at half-time, and then the next game 60 to 70, and then the next game after that, you're going full bore, 90 minutes plus. Paul Mullin, my friend. Now, last week I asked you a question. Who is your favourite ever all-time Wrexham player? My Wrexham player played 264 times, 35 goals in 2 stints at Wrexham. The first time was 1972 to 1978. And the second time was 1991 to 1993. I'm referring to none other than my childhood hero. I absolutely adore and adored this player and adored the person. And I'm talking about no one else other than Mickey Thomas. So there you go, Mickey Thomas. That was my all-time favourite player for Wrexham, and got to see Mickey play quite a few games, quite a lot of games, and was just taken aback by the way and the enthusiasm and the way he read the game and the endeavour and the way he put his body on the line as well, you know, sacrificed everything for the team. And I just really did enjoy watching Mickey Thomas play. Absolutely. Played for a lot of other teams, but we're only going to mention the Wrexham. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. That's another pre-game down, another pre-game coming. That's obviously going to be against the Shrewsbury, but listen, this is going to be another nail-biter. It could go either way. I'm looking for the draw. It's got draw written all over this one, should it go to form. But let's say somebody doesn't turn up the day, and maybe the youngsters up front don't get it done on the day for Peterborough, and it's the seniors from Wrexham that come to town and maybe grab something. Or is it going to be Wrexham come to town and it's a banana skin and Peterborough run out easy winners? This could go one of a few ways, but like I say, it sets up for the draw. But I know this, it's going to be another massive game, and the points are so vital to stay in touch with the top of the table right now. A win for either team keeps them right in there. A draw is not exactly ideal now, is it? But you can't risk everything over a couple of minutes. It takes 90 minutes plus a few substitutes and a lot of great moves and a few mistakes from somebody for that win to come your way. The question is, will it? Peterborough, Wrexham, London Road. Let's have it. Cheers.